reason we're so today on Monetize Mondays, we're going to be talking about, is your marketing language Greek? And here's why. When we don't have a message to market match, we're speaking Greek. And soon as we have that first level, the first word that they don't understand, that they cannot relate to, we lose them. In fact, I just did an hour training with a group of doctors, and we talked about this topic. And it really came up this morning, Henry. By the way, welcome back from Paris.
Thank you very much.
That was my best impersonation of a French accent, which I obviously don't speak French. So if I was over there, I would experience what you did, and what's really spurred our conversation today is you realized, how do you connect when you only know one word in a foreign language? And really, it came to what we do in business.
Right. Exactly. And the biggest takeaway that I got was, I realized how difficult it was when you can't speak that language. And, Russell Brunson talks about this a lot in his new book about technobabble and, speaking over people's heads. And
wait, the book that's not out yet.
The book that's not out yet. That's true. But anyway, I wanted to shed some light on this because, again, it was a recent experience that I felt, and I felt the struggle. And not only did I feel the struggle, but the people that I was trying to communicate with, the French natives, they were very, very polite about it, but they struggled too because, when we went out to the restaurants and stuff, they wanted to serve us, with high quality, and they couldn't because we couldn't speak the language. They couldn't understand us. We couldn't understand them. And there was this big language barrier. And a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with this themselves when it comes to putting out their brand's messaging to their audience.
Yeah. And you were mentioning that you were talking the Passionpreneur Movement as well, that how do we really, one of the things that a challenge is, we get so ingrained in what we do in our business and our industry. I'll give you an example. A perfect example is when we talk about marketing funnels. And people ask me, what do I do? Well, we create online digital marketing, from websites, design. As soon as I say marketing funnels, people look at me like, marketing funnels? What's a marketing funnel? Right. And I lose them. And so many times we have conversations in our messaging, on our videos, and we just start talking about the nomenclature, the vocabulary that we use every day. And what we forget is most people have no idea what we're talking about.
Exactly. So how do we fix this? How do we figure out what language our audience is speaking? I did an Instagram Live earlier today about this. And one of the questions that was asked to me was, well, how do you find out the language that your audience is speaking? I thought it was a great question. And I wanted to hear your feedback on that. I wanted to get your insight on that.
Well, I actually think that there's two things. One is, remember who you're speaking to. So who is your audience, and how can you best connect with them, and dumb it down. I want you to think, no matter what your political viewpoint is, think about, what did Trump do better than anyone else, whether it was in the primaries or when it was in the final election. He spoke in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade terminology. Yeah. He did it, and he did it bigly. I mean, Bigley's a word that he made up, but he says it all the time. Andy says it all the time. We may not know what Bigley is, but what does Bigley sound like? It's huge, right? Think about it. So even made up words, you understand what he was saying, and he was able to connect with people because he put it down, not at a high level, not at a Harvard or Penn or wherever he went to school. He put it down to where every person who views it can connect with you. And I'll give you an example. We were just working on copy for events for some of my doctor clients, and they're doing some live events. And every time we wrote it something down, I said, "So Janai, what does this mean to you?" And she said, "Well, I don't know." Then all of a sudden, so if we change it this way, what does it mean? Oh yeah, how many people that experience this? Oh yeah, I can relate to that. And sometimes when and why was she perfect? Because she's the market that they're going after. Okay. They're going after females that are in their 30s and up. Okay. And mid 30s and up. And so many times we think that we are so spot on in our thinking, and we get so excited about what we're creating and what we're sharing that we use our terminology. We just things start flowing out of our mouth. And then when we don't get people engaging with our videos, when people are not responding to our marketing, what do? Okay, I'll give you another example of how we speak to make sure there's a message to market match. And it's something that you and I do in how to monetize when we work with a client. On the front end, when people say, well, I've already got my strategy. Well, I get it. And I probably can tell you that most of the times your strategy, if you have your strategy and you're not getting the results that you want, there's probably a reason why. And what do? Think about this, Henry. We really start digging all the way down to, before we do anything, who's the audience that you want to connect to? And then why do you want to connect to them? And then what do? I mean, we do quizzes, but we do quizzes on a different level. The reason I said but is because it's not even a quiz. It's really an assessment. It's sort of a survey. And we start dialing in based upon answers that people give, that we're taking micro data on each of those people. We're scoring them. We're creating an end result of who that person is. And then at the end of that survey, at the end of that engagement, what are we doing? We're then giving a message that is exactly right to that person, where they are, where their head is right now, what problems, challenges that they're having that someone who's at a different level can't even connect to. And then we're making sure that it depends upon the client. We can go so far as every marketing piece along the continuum that goes from there is having that message to market match based upon who and where they are. So, I mean, I call it quiz funnels and things like that. However, it really is not a quiz funnel at all. It's literally digging in to who your client is. What are their problems? What are their challenges? What are their solutions? Are they looking for? And when you start communicating with someone at that deep of a level, they pay attention because, oh, wow, even on an unconscious level, they know that it's marketing. However, if you're able to hit on every single one of the problems that they're having, you connect at a much different level. So that's, you asked me what my thoughts are. That's my thoughts around the topic.
And there's so many different levels of value in that response. I need a second to digest it. But one of the biggest things that I see is something super practical, super easy that I think a lot of us kind of sometimes overlook is when we are working with current clients or when we are beginning to work with a new client. How about simply asking them, hey, why did you sign up for us? Why did you buy our product? Why did you decide us? And shut up and listen. And let them tell you why they bought from you, and then use the language that they're using, the verbs, the terminology, all of that, and use it in your marketing. I mean, it sounds so silly and elementary, but if you really want to speak the language of your audience, ask them.
Well, yeah, and it goes the whole funnel, and this goes into, okay, we have a front end funnel, but once they become a client, make a survey funnel, just like you're saying, and ask them those questions. And when you know why they made the decision that they made, you can serve them at a much higher level.
Right. So there's that connection, there's that connection, and without that connection, without that. Well, with that language barrier, in there lies lack of trust, lack of connection, and it's gonna stunt you from growing. I mean, that's the pain. That's the tragic loss that is going to happen if you don't get your messaging right and the language right.
One thing that so many people in marketing do way too often is they're constantly selling. They're hyping it up. Oh my gosh, this is the best event ever. You got to register for this online event. This live event that we're having. Oh my gosh, it's revolutionary, going to change your life. If you've had problems with this, I mean, it makes me think of, Vegematic Ronco just announced that they're going public. It slices, it dices, and wait, there's more. And here's the problem. Most marketing pieces, that's really if you look at so many people's email, it's what they're doing. And it's funny. I have a client that I'm helping him promote out a live event. It's an event I'm speaking at, and they sent out 2 different emails to a list of 40,000 people, and their open rate was horrendous. Their engagement was horrible. And they asked me, why do you think? And because I had written an email that was really just down to earth, talking about, hey, let's talk about your business, your practice, and why you should attend. And I said, because it's too salesy, it's too hypey. And then they're like, do you think yours would work? I don't know. I think it would. And here's why. Because it's coming from a practitioner's voice and talking about the solution, the problems that they're having. And here's the real solutions in a totally non-salesy way. Hey, check this out. And when you have to remember, when we're writing emails, or even if we're doing affiliate emails, so many times it's that hype. You know what? I wouldn't send an email out as an affiliate to someone else's event in your voice that's talking about your thing's going to be the greatest in sliced bread. However, I'm okay saying, hey, a friend of mine is having this event. I like them. I respect them. I trust them. Because of that, and I'm willing to share this with you, I'd like you to take a look at it. And that's the kind of email that I wrote for this person. And, and they're like, you think that's going to work? I said, yeah, because it's being truthful. It's being honest. I like this person. I respect him. I trust him. I'd like you to look at it because I think you would like it too.
And it comes across very natural. I mean, people forget when we're doing emails, when people look at email marketing, I think to this day, people think that like, we got to sell them. We got to blast them with an email. And I mean, I don't know about you, David, but do you like to get blasted by anything? Like
I tune out. I'll give you an example. One of the great marketers out there, he's known for doing this. Frank Kern, he'll literally burn his list out and work to get as much out of it as he can. And then you've got to go through, at least that's how it used to be. I don't know if he's changed so Frank, if you're watching this, based upon what it was in the past, that's what I understand what you have taught and have done. And it works. It works for a short period of time. However, if you're looking at building a long-term value with someone, you've got to not churn and burn that list out. I mean, I can tell you there's so many marketers that I'm going to get an email or 2 every single day from them. And then I actually don't even look at them. Now, all of a sudden, this goes into my list if I want to get a headline idea or something like that. I'll never read the email.
Right. And that's the problem. So, understanding what things are for and how to do them. And again, speaking the language. If you're speaking an email, you say to yourself, how do I communicate regularly, normally, naturally in email? And, people aren't going to do it. So that's great for us because we know how to do it, and that's how we do it. And that's why we get results and they don't. But the point is, it all comes down to language. And if you cannot speak your audience's language, you will not connect with them. Just like I couldn't connect with the French natives and they couldn't connect with me, unless I said, we were in a country, we were in a town called Laval, and there was this little cute little like square, right? And we went in, this old lady owned this little coffee shop. And we all had to go to the bathroom, but we didn't want to go into the bathroom just to use her bathroom and leave, right? So we all sat down. We had a cup of coffee. We relaxed. We wanted to kind of see if she knew any of the English at all, but she absolutely not a lick of English, right? But it was funny. I would be like, I would point, or I would say American coffee. She wouldn't get the coffee, but she understood American. So it was like these little like chips of words, these little like, and I was like, all right, I'm getting there. But it took the living life out of me to communicate with this woman. But sure enough, she understood. But the way it was funny because we were talking to her, and she would just like talk in French. Like she wouldn't point or anything like we were trying to do back. She would just.
You should have done Google Translate. You should have had Google Translate on.
Oh my God, my father told me about that after we get home. He's like, dude, you should have just used Google Translate. It's like simple. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think of it. We're there 6 days. I didn't even think of it once. But the point was, it was extremely hard to communicate with her. But these little pops of words, the words that she was familiar with, were the words that connected and resonated. And that's how we got the coffee. That's how we got to pay her. That's how we got to understand where the bathroom was located. And that's what I'm trying. That's the whole point of today's conversation. So to wrap this up, because we like to keep these tight, what is a solid takeaway that one of the audience members can see today that can help them get that language right?
Understand the specific audience that you want to connect to and make sure you bring your message down to the level of their level of understanding of how you can communicate. Marketing funnels, digital marketing, what does it come down to? Would you like more traffic? Would you like more leads? Would you like more conversions? Would you like more paying clients? How about more profitable paying clients? Great. We've got a great system that we can walk you through from A to Z to show you why most systems don't work and they don't connect with the audience, and why this one will produce results.
Bam.
That's basically marketing funnels, automation, all this stuff, high level. But then we bring it down to, what do people want? They want more clients. They want more leads, more conversions, more paying clients, more profitable paying clients. You break it down to that, it's easy to understand.
That's it. Awesome, David. Let's just stop.
Have a great week, Henry. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. And we'll catch you next week on the next episode of Monetize Mondays.
Thanks, everyone.
Let me just go here.